Welcome to my channel, Steve of the Window Cleaner. Today we're just doing a quick overview of this $900 commercial construction clean of a warehouse, and then also some office windows, which were really the worst part of the construction clean. Some partitions, some windows on awnings, and then also some scissor lift work on the inside of the warehouse. First, we started outside on the second floor. These windows overall weren't too bad. They just required a little bit of bronze wool on the outside and then just a little bit of razoring on the bottom of the silicone. This customer was actually pretty worried about scratching because the building across the way had tons of scratches, so they were really big about us not using too many razors, so we were just overly careful with that. These metal awnings that I'm on can usually be safe, but just make sure to really check the integrity of them before getting on them, but most of the time they're pretty safe. On the inside of these windows, we use a lift. So real quick, I thought I could just give you a quick overview of how to operate a scissor lift, but I would say to you, always get training. Off and on is this big red button, down is off, up is on. You got a couple buttons here. The first one I'll hit here moves the scissor lift forward and then also moves the scissor lift backwards. Really easy to operate. The button on the left there allows you to go up and then allows you also to go down with the scissor lift. This little part on top here allows you to move it left and right. These have great maneuverability. You can do a lot with these. This was another lift at the job. You can get different controls. Like this one, you have to pull up on a ring on the handle to get it to move. So it's good to take a course and really learn how to use these different lifts. Scissor lifts are very easy to use. You can move them when they're high up like this, but they won't move very fast. The preferred way is to be moving them when they're fully collapsed, but that's a lot when you're all the way up in the air. So definitely take a safety course if you want to learn how to use scissor lifts or boom lifts. The windows above in the side of the warehouse really weren't too bad. Again, just required a little bit of bronze wool. I find that windows that don't have a lot of like drywall or debris around them usually aren't too bad. They're usually pretty easy to clean up even after construction. It's just mostly to get the dirt off the window and remove the haze. We tried also to remove all the stickers without a razor. Of course, there was some razor that was needed, but once again, the customer was pretty worried about scratching. I always have my pole with me when using a scissor lift. On the bottom of the area of here, there was a sink that there was no way for me to get close enough to the wall. So when using a lift, it's always good to have your pole with you because you're gonna find there's times when you just cannot get close enough to the glass. Like right here, there was a bathroom they had built that came out about 15 feet from the wall, and there was no way to get close to that. So because of the windows were in the warehouse and they weren't too bad, I was able just to razor off the sticker and then just basically mop it and clean it. But you know, it really didn't require anything too crazy for these windows. But you know, with these scissor lifts, usually you should wear a harness, but this was a private construction site and this was their own lifts, so they said it was cool to not wear the harness, but I really do suggest when doing lift work to always wear a harness and be safe. Finish up pretty much all of the warehouse windows. These were the last windows. The partitions, you can see like they just finished like painting this just the other day, so they were just getting the whole place cleaned up while we were there. Really the worst windows were these windows that were in the office area that they had, and basically they had a good assortment of dirt all over the frames, a good amount of silicone that had to be razored off of the actual window before removing it with silicone. But I just went through my steps, mopped it, steel wooled it, razored it a little bit, squeegeed off all the water, of course, and then just detailed with like dry steel wool and microfiber towel and magic eraser, and really does a pretty good job. But if you have any like big questions on construction cleans, comment below and I'll help you out. But that building right over there is a building where basically they had tons and tons of scratching all over the windows. So just always be careful with the razor, especially on commercial windows. That's pretty much your most important thing to make sure that you don't mess up anything, and a scratch waiver is definitely helpful. But overall, that was pretty much the construction clean. Really pretty simple clean. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, comment below and I'll help you out. Have a good day. Bye-bye.